I'd like to call a meeting to order. This is the September 27th, 2017 meeting of the Lowell Conservation Commission. Our order of business first on the agenda is an enforcement order that's been continued from September 13th. It concerns a large amount of fill that was placed on 60 Aegean Lane. I went out and took a look at the site this afternoon, and they've got a good start on stabilizing what was done. The grass is growing. However, I'm concerned about the instability of the fill along the erosion control fence. Once the fence is taken down, I feel that the tree trunks will be engulfed in washed away sediment and perhaps enough to kill the trees. So I've suggested that the office contact Mr. Dennis and say that we'd like that situation remedied, and when he is finished doing that, that we'll take another look and therefore leave the enforcement order in place for now. Is there anyone here for that particular site? Does anyone else have any comments on it? Okay, so Patrick, if you could draft a letter perhaps, or give him a call if you know his phone number. Thank you. Next on the agenda is a request for a determination of applicability filed by Lonnie Cormier on behalf of Karen Kaczmarski, 900 Varnum Avenue. The project location is in between 900 and 896 Varnum Avenue. The proposal is to remove 2 trees and install a fence within the 100-foot buffer zone of vegetated wetlands and on land subject to flooding. Now, if we recall a couple of meetings ago, we had some communication with this particular site in that they were taking down trees, and these are actually 2 of the trees that have already been essentially killed off. So is anyone here for this particular? Okay, would you like to come up and introduce yourself and tell us what you're proposing?
Hi, for the record, my name is Lawrence, not Lonnie, but that's my nickname. There were 3 trees that were going over our roof and hitting our roof, and there was critters coming up on it. And I noticed some neighbors 2 doors down cutting down trees and shrubs, so I didn't think anything of it. So I hired some tree people to cut down those trees. They're still up, and once they're all growing back now. And I propose if I could cut down all those 3, I'll plant something that's more manageable between the properties and repair the fence with my neighbor at her choice, whatever she needs.
Okay. I drive by this just about every day, and my feeling was, why didn't they take those trunks down in the first time around, you know? Because they will grow back. Yeah. One of them is out of the resource area. The other one is just on the edge of it. And removing the trunk, to my mind, just gives more room for flood retention. Gives a little more area there. I don't, there's plenty of trees in the area. It's not like the area will be left treeless, and if you want to plant trees, that's fine, but I didn't feel that this determination had anything that we needed to further look at. Bill?
Well, along that same line of thinking, I don't really have any questions or comments. I would just propose that we issue a -3 determination for this project, given the de minimis, if any, impact to the resource area.
Okay, motion's been made to issue a -3. -3 means that you will not need to file any more paperwork with us before you do your project. I don't think we need to put any conditions in there because it's pretty clear what you're proposing. Does anyone have a second for that motion?
Second.
Seconded. And comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, sorry.
Okay, motion passes. You will be getting some paperwork in the mail. And,
Okay.
you can proceed at your own risk.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Take care.
Thank you. Next on the agenda is a request for determination of applicability filed by George McShane, 1010 Westford Street. That is the project location. It's a proposal to repave a driveway on a property that is within 100 feet of Black Brook and on land subject to flooding. Is somebody here for, you here for that? Please introduce yourself and,
Hi, I'm Jonathan with Jonathan Harold with Family Paving. I'm the contractor that's going to be working for Mr. McShane. So we're proposing to replace the asphalt that is on the property that's currently there now. We're not expanding, we're not reducing, we're just removing and replacing the parking area on his property. I've learned that there is Black Brook that runs I believe on the north side of the property, and looking at the plans when I was in engineering, it showed that there was a little bit of the floodplain that affected his property. Very small portion, but a little portion nonetheless. So I was advised to fill out this
yeah,
determination. So that's where we're at. Like I said, it's currently paved, and we're just looking to replace what's there. Remove all the old asphalt, grade and compact, and repave.
okay, that was my question. I was going to ask you whether you were taking up the old asphalt.
That's the plan. It's not in great shape. You know, I considered doing a cold plane, you know, just taking off a layer and putting a layer back. We talked about that. But it's not a big area. It's about 4,500 square feet. So we determined the best route, most cost effective was to replace it.
So you would estimate that the final elevation would be the same that it is now?
Yeah, we don't want to change any of the grades unless it's, you know, unless we are told by a higher power to do that from you know, somebody with the city. But the way it stands now, we just want to put back what's there, same elevation, same grade, and same layout.
I was looking at the site today, and there was an issue of tree cutting along Black Brook. Now, I understand that the property line perhaps doesn't go right up to the top of bank, or at least that's what it looked like.
I'm not too familiar with that recent history.
Yeah, what's the question about the tree cutting?
Excuse me?
What's the question about the tree cutting? I'm sorry.
Could you introduce yourself,
I'm
please?
sorry, Greg McShane, I'm the owner of the property.
Okay.
The tree cutting, there were several trees that were dead and in danger of coming down. There was actually one on the opposite side of the Black Brook that was on city property. I contacted the city and they came over and took that tree down because it was in danger of coming down. Along with the trees that were on my property on the brook were basically ready to come down. There was no, there wasn't enough, they were ready, how do I want to explain this? The bottom part of the trees, because the land goes down in like this on the side of the brook, there's not enough dirt or, you know,
Right.
whatever to hold the trees, and they were definitely in danger of coming down.
So does your property line include where those trees were cut? Does your property include that?
Yes.
So you go out to the brook then?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Your property goes to the brook or to the
According
middle
to,
of the brook?
according to the city, because when I asked them to cut the tree down, they said all those trees were on my property
Okay.
when I went to the DPW office.
Well, you pointed out what the problem was in taking those trees down, in that those roots are clinging to that bank, which is fairly steep.
And it was, right, they were unsteady. There was several trees that were dead.
But I think what you're going to find is that that bank is going to become more unstable if it doesn't have live roots holding it together. So I think what I would be proposing would be to make sure that some trees of some sort are planted along that strip.
Okay.
I
What-
know you have to leave a vegetative strip along the edge of your property, at least I think you do.
Yes, I
And,
plan on that.
I
I was gonna be putting in, shrubs or something next spring.
Right, right. Well, in the meantime, you definitely need an erosion control fence there, because you are going to be, that area is going to be disturbed with the equipment coming in and out. And that's also an edge for, for the equipment drivers too. Well, we'll get back to that, but
Just curious, how many inches are you taking off and putting back for paving?
So, short of going and doing test pits now to see what the existing thickness is, we're proposing to put down a standard like 3.5 inches, like a 2-inch
3.5.
binder, 1.5 inch top.
Okay.
And we expect, we
could you use
assume
the
that it's gonna
microphone,
be,
please?
we assume that it's going to be in that range of what the existing pavement is.
Okay.
Yep.
Gotcha.
What's the overall square footage of the pavement replacement?
I'm sorry?
What's the overall square footage of the?
So the front section that abuts, is it Blackbrook? It's 4,500 square feet. There's a section on Stedman Street that, and forgive me if I don't, your property kind of abuts, it's almost like 2 lots.
There was 2 separate lots.
So he has a garage on the lot next door that's about 3,800. And that's also paved.
So you're paving both?
Yes,
Okay.
yes,
And both with the 3.5?
yes, exactly. All the same scope. Remove and replace. He has a good section of it that has been rutted away. There really is no asphalt in this section. It's pretty bad. So that's kind of what prompted, looking at this project. And
And I would agree with, I mean, I haven't seen the property, but just hearing what Commissioner Varnum was saying, I would agree, you'd want to stabilize that embankment.
yes.
What I don't want to do is issue a positive determination, means you have to file out a notice of intent, which is, to me, seems somewhat excessive for this project. Are you already committed to putting in some sort of erosion control? Because the challenge for us is that there's no documentation requirement, binding with the -3 determination.
Sure.
The work's done in the resource area, but it's, the scale and the scope is of such that you don't really need to go through that process of, having all these different, sediment and stormwater control plans, erosion control plans, but
Sure.
I'd be curious, is there anything in the contract between?
I am currently, no. When I first quoted it, I did not include that. We've already talked about it. We're gonna add an item for swaddles to put, if that's acceptable to the town. Some of our commercial projects in the past, where we had to have gone that route, we've used, I believe it's 8-inch swaddles, or I forget what size, but to surround the property in the past. So
I mean, so long as that's done, I'm comfortable that, this project is a scale and scope that would be a negative determination, but I would like to see, you follow through on that, because I agree with Commissioner Varnum, despite the condition of the trees, that root structure was holding the embankment in place, and if you don't put something there, you're gonna, especially in the springtime, you're gonna have the waters rising and falling, and you're gonna have scouring and a lot of erosion.
yep. No,
Well, not from the pavement, though. The pavement's going to be like a
No,
day.
no, not for the paving,
Yeah.
I'm just talking about
So there's
the
two different,
runoff.
two different things we're talking about. Yeah.
I recommended it to him even prior to
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah,
coming
this
you
has more to
guys.
do with
Yeah.
the sheet flow and stuff coming off the paved area.
Yeah, no, I get
All
that.
right, I have no other comments. Thank you.
How many trees in the resource area were taken down?
Sorry, I'm sorry, I didn't hear your question.
How many trees were taken down that were located in the resource area? I just have a couple pictures here. Looks like there's about.
I don't know the exact number, I think around 10.
Okay.
Yeah, I
It's-
counted
it's-
12 fairly large trees.
Some of those, again, a couple of those were already dead.
And do you intend to plant? I know you said shrubs or maybe trees.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you, I'm sorry.
Sorry, the mic was too far away. So you intend to plant? You said you intend to plant some more trees?
I'll plant, shrubs, I don't know what you would call them, but, shrubs that are, this high, something like that.
I just think, like Commissioner Varnum was saying, the root system, if you only plant shrubs, it's not gonna hold the bank as much as a tree would, or these trees did. at
Okay,
least.
well, what would you like me to plant? I'll plant whatever you'd like me to plant.
I could probably give you a list of some trees that would, because it looks like there was maybe some birch and maybe, I think I only see one birch here, but I could definitely get a list for you.
That'd be fine.
There you go.
Yeah, there's quite a few trees that won't get as large as an oak, say, or a maple, but they still will have a root system that's more substantial than shrubs. Flowering trees are, sometimes sort of a dwarf style and whatever. But that'd be great
Okay.
if Mr. Dillon can give you some direction.
Okay, thanks.
Jeff? So just to go over what I think we've talked about here, that we want to see erosion control before work begins, and that would be probably at the edge of work. I'd like to see that vegetative strip really beefed up so that it's not just dirt, that something's growing there, and this would be, of course, after the paving that you do that, and the trees, as we mentioned. I'd like to see no stockpiling of materials within the 100-foot buffer. I don't know if you need to do that as you're working, or.
No, we wouldn't need to stockpile anything. Material that gets excavated out gets put into a truck right away, hauled out. And like I said, it's a 2-day project, maybe 3, so it's not gonna be.
Now, I don't know about a berm, whether a berm would keep water from flowing in that direction off of your new pavement. Or I think you have car stops out there now, don't you? To keep the cars from going too close? Or is there nothing there?
You know what, I'm not positive. I think there was just the vegetation and a natural berm.
Well,
it does elevate a
what's
little
your
bit.
feeling about a berm then along that edge?
From my notes on my estimate, I don't believe the grade goes in that direction. I believe it goes to the street
Okay.
and ends up in a catch basin.
I did see a few catch basins in the street.
I can confirm that, but I don't think water naturally flows to the what is it? What river is it?
Black Brook.
Black
Well,
Brook, yeah.
I think the catch basin may go right into Black Brook.
Well,
I'm
then,
not
yeah,
sure.
that's another means of getting there, right? But,
Right.
Not your problem, so
yeah.
that's the city's problem.
Okay, does anyone else have any more comments? Do we have a motion?
So I'll make a motion to issue a -3 determination with these conditions, that erosion control is placed on the side of the property parallel to Black Brook, and also that no stockpiling is done near Black Brook, and everything's hauled off like you said it was gonna be.
And how about getting perhaps approval for the planting plan before it happens, so that we can,
Are we gonna put that under this?
well, we're not gonna see them again if we
Okay.
issue a negative.
And then also, I guess like a proposed list of trees or bushes that you would like to plant. If you could give it to the office, and then we'll just approve it at a meeting, you don't have to come back. But it is two different things. So the deal is here is, you should have came in for a permit to cut down those trees. So we could technically whack you right now with an enforcement order. So they are two different things. The paving's not a problem. It's just more so, we're more focused now on the trees. And because you cut down those trees, the roots are gonna eventually die. And then the roots are probably giving that bank stability. So once those roots are dead, the bank might wash into Black Brook, and that's what we're trying to protect here.
Okay.
So it's kind of like two different things, if that makes sense.
The straw swaddles that I'm proposing to put on there, I typically put them on the edge of the pavement in the construction area.
Yeah.
So that's not really gonna protect the banking.
No, that's gonna do nothing.
It's
That's
gonna-
just gonna protect any
It's gonna
debris from
protect
your
our
pavement.
project from any,
Yeah.
yeah. So that's where we're gonna place it.
Yeah. And it only needs to be on that side, that one side. I think everything might be in the 100-foot buffer zone.
Goes to about here.
Okay.
Okay, so that would be the whole property line, even past the pavement, up on the slope there. You also cut some trees that, are, that loose soil could be heading down to Black Brook as well. So the planting plan should go that whole side of your property. Are there any questions on your behalf?
Did you catch those three conditions, Patrick?
If you wanted to repeat them, that would be great.
Yeah.
All right, so number one is that there is erosion control along the property line near Black Brook. Number two is that they don't stockpile and everything's hauled off. And number three is that they submit a planting plan. You said spring, right?
Oh, yeah, I don't know if I can get anything before the winter.
Fall, yeah, we're getting past that fall growing season. So let's do a planting plan prior to spring 2018.
But we'll get you the list of acceptable plantings. As Commissioner
I'm
Dillon
sorry
was
to hear. Sorry.
As Commissioner Dillon was talking about acceptable plantings, obviously we don't want invasive species or things that are gonna grow out of control there.
I'm just curious, is the city making you get a cop detail?
Pardon?
No?
No, we usually make that determination ourselves.
Yeah.
And if we don't, and we should have, they'll let us know.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
But on this particular job, I plan on it.
You do plan on it?
I do, because it's right on the corner.
Yeah,
So,
and everyone's
I
flying.
mean, it's more for our accessibility coming and going
Yeah.
than anything else. I mean, we're not really working on the street or anything. It's just the trucks coming and going.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second it, now that Patrick's
Motion
got
made and
everything.
seconded. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Okay, motion passes.
Thank you.
Do I have to wait on any paperwork or anything like that in the mail? Can I just go get the permit, engineering now, or?
They can pick it up tomorrow, right?
Yeah, you can get it
Okay,
tomorrow.
I didn't know if there was
And
any
then in
further
the mail-
steps.
We'll be sending you also the determination.
Right.
Okay.
Good news is no notice of intent.
That was my, my hope, to not have to deal with that, yeah.
All right, thank you for coming in.
Thank you. Okay, thank you.
And
Thanks.
will you be in touch with me to give me a list of the trees, or?
Yeah, I'll be able to keep in touch through email. Do you have his email?
I'm sorry?
Do you have Patrick's email, or how have you been keeping in contact?
Just by regular mail will be fine?
Yeah, okay.
Would you like it to send to 1010 Westford Street, or?
Yeah, that's fine, yes.
1010,
Send me
okay.
a list.
We'll
Okay,
send you a list to
sounds good.
1010 Westford Street of acceptable plantings.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
When will you be sending that?
By the end of the week, so if that works, but it's up to you, I don't have to.
Yeah, that works.
Okay,
Okay,
so just email me the,
sounds good.
Okay, that's the,
Or do you want it?
No.
You don't?
that's the end of our business portion of the meeting. We have other business now. Annual meeting, election of officers for the next year.
I would like to nominate Commissioner Varnum to be the chair of next year,
I'll second that.
if she'll take it.
Do we do all the nominations first?
I don't know.
Oh, I could add that and say, along with that, I nominate Commissioner Beardron as vice chairman of the
I
commission.
second that.
Okay, those are the only two,
No, no.
no, I'm afraid those are the only two offices. They don't give us any money and they don't
I'm happy with the time
let us
commitment.
write anything.
I
Okay,
do.
so we have nominations made and seconded. Any further nominations? Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Yay.
Congratulations.
Thanks, guys.
Now I'm just gonna get 2 more commission members.
Yeah, we just need more commissioners. For those of you
Those who
at
watching
home.
TV,
Yeah.
Okay, I believe we have minutes of August 9th. Does anyone have any corrections or comments about the minutes?
No, I looked at them, they look consistent with my notes, so I'm okay with approving them.
Okay, motion to approve, seconded by,
Second?
and all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. I believe, is there anything else, Patrick?
There's an emergency certificate
The
that
emergency
was,
certificate for 1236 Pawtucket Boulevard.
yes.
This was a tree that fell into the river in the rear of the homeowner's property.
Right.
And I believe Christine, or was it you, went out? Yeah, the city went out, took a look, took pictures. We received pictures of the property. And the stump is to stay in place, and no other trees were to be cut. So I'm not sure if that has been taken care of yet, but I think that was the right course of action. Are there any other comments about the tree?
Nope.
No.
Okay. Do we need to ratify this?
Yeah.
So I'll make a motion to ratify the enforcement order.
Motion made
I'll second it.
and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Okay, anything else? No?
Nope.
Well, we need another motion.
Motion to adjourn?
Second?
Thank you, Jeff.
Hey, Kevin
And
said do that.
seconded.
Oh, sorry. Kevin got it.
All right. Aye, I'm in
All those in
favor of it.
favor?
Aye.
Thank you and good night.